All right. Welcome to Open Bar. I'm Lisa Peach.
I'm Mike Morales.
La Blanca.
La Blanca. She's wearing the
I'm wearing
originals.
my sparkles from my friend Melba.
I don't have any sparkles. I have a pirate T-shirt because we've been binge watching Dark Sails, or is it Black Sails?
Yeah, you went pirate.
I went all pirate.
And I went Latina.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
One of our viewers, Ben Brockman, said that we needed to add more Latin flair.
More Latin flair?
We need more Sábado Gigante.
Sábado Gigante, solamente. No, I'm not going to mention those guys. I'm not going to mention those guys. You know.
And I'm wearing my charo.
Anybody who's been in radio understands that those guys, those announcers, we used to call them pukers. These are the guys that go, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. So we call them pukers. But in Spanish, they're just,
they're just awesome.
Yeah, they're just awesome. Anyway, speaking of awesome, tonight we are going to be talking with Senor Rio. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a little bit dark, but we're playing with our lighting here right now.
I had the diamond skin. I had the vampire diamond skin going on.
No.
I was like,
so we're waiting for Jonathan Gatch and Debbie Medina, who are the brand owners of Senor Rio. They're going to be talking to us about their brand new. This is an extra añejo, ladies and gentlemen. They have what else?
Coffee liqueur.
Coffee liqueur, and one of something very near and dear to my heart. They are going to be talking about their line of cigars. They actually have a line of cigars, Senor Rio cigars that are infused. I think infused and dipped in their Blanco Añejo. There's nothing in there. It's just a box. Honey, that's the box they sent me. I smoked them all.
That's just wrong.
Oh no, I've got two more in my humidor in here.
How am I supposed to tell how the hand feel is and how it smells?
Well, when we get them online with us, we'll be able to,
What? Fake it? Because we don't have any cigars?
No, I've got two cigars. They sent me two more.
All right.
And because we've never tried the extra añejo, this is a brand new version. Now, ordinarily we don't do any sipping off the cuffs using minis because we find that these minis get to be compromised.
Compromiso.
Well, more than
something
that.
Like that.
Yeah,
Compromise.
We've had these. Oh, there's a terrible story about one tequila company that sent us. They sent us this beautiful cigar. They sent us this nice little box. Chocolate, the dark chocolate. They sent us their extra añejo in a flask.
Ay, Dios mío.
Okay, this would, ordinarily that's great presentation, but
beautiful gift box.
This is Texas. We live in San Antonio.
It was awful.
If you've ever spent an August in San Antonio, by the time we got that sample,
the humanity,
the mini had been compromised completely. It had the only thing I could salvage was the cigar. So please, as a rule, we know we can't, because this is Texas. It's just going to get strangled. It's going to dissipate. We already have enough of a problem as it is with our FedEx and UPS people.
They kick things.
They break things in Fort Worth.
They're jealous because they're not getting
FedEx they break things in Fort Worth. Otherwise, when they get them here, we're cool. We're good with that. So anyway,
it looks like Jonathan and Debbie are trying to get on line here.
Well, in case they happen to call in, we'll help them out a little bit with their with their getting on to Blab.
Jonathan, are you on?
I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think so.
Hello. Hey, I wonder if they can hear us now.
We'll try it again. Let's try
it again to try to get them on.
Click on that open seat again, if you will, please.
Yes, please do so. Cool. Good deal.
There we go.
Yeah. Let's try that again. So anyway,
here we are. Can you see us?
Hey, hi guys.
How you guys doing?
Wow. By the way, this is Debbie Medina, Jonathan Gatch of Senor Rio Tequila, and now Senor Rio Cigars.
And coffee liqueur.
And coffee liqueur.
Don't forget the coffee.
No, not the two of our favorite
We should
things.
be drinking it together. I have my
And the extra
cafe
yeah.
elegancia.
Oh,
Right.
we pulled out. Here's what we did. We pulled out. We think that tequila. If those of you who have been following us on Tequila Aficionado know that we feel that tequila itself has graduated now. I think it needs more glassware, and we've been experimenting. We had some great responses from the Glencairn glass people. So we're gonna use that extra añejo, and I think Jonathan knows this one here, man. This little whiskey, it is ideal for nosing and for flavor. We love it. We can't get enough.
Yeah, we just found these guys, and they're kind of like the Rydell glasses, but it's a little wider. So
yeah, I have a set of those in storage. Sadly, still in New Mexico, but I use them for Sotol. Believe it or not.
It's like you don't want to commit.
No,
everything's in storage.
No, I'm building up enough money to have somebody just load up the truck and bring the rest of my stuff out to Texas. How are you guys? How are you?
We're good. We're good.
It's nice to see you. Nice to meet you, Lisa, finally. Thank you for inviting us.
No, thank you for coming on. This is a new format, and we love it because it gives us a chance to spend an hour with brands who have been, very reasonably successful in startup brands. And you guys and Tequila Aficionado, we've been together for a while, almost 5 years now.
They were on Last Tequila Standing.
You guys were on Last Tequila Standing. Yeah, that was, so we've been through a lot together, obviously.
And seen a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. So first of all, for people who are just watching us or catching up with us or catch us on the replay, which we get a lot of followers on the replay. Tell us about Señor Rio and how you guys met. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, you guys were in real estate?
No, actually, I was in real estate for many years before tequila, and I rang John's doorbell. So you just going to come at your door. His house was up for sale, and it was about 10 years ago, I think. It was New Year's Day, and I had some clients from California that wanted to see some homes.
New Year's Day?
New Year's Day, yeah. When you're doing the hustle and you're working. So I
thought it was a bogus call. I'm like, New Year's Day, look at a house,
Yeah, New Year's Eve.
You thought it was a prank.
Day, and they told me they were only in town for a short amount of time. And I said, yeah, I'd love to help you. So I took them out and I showed them some properties, and Jonathan's was one of them. And so after I showed his house, they loved it, and they ended up wanting to buy it and all the furnishings inside. So it was really nice for him.
And all my decorations, so I got to leave lock, stock, and barrel. Nothing I had to bring with me but my personal stuff.
Was that on purpose, John? Were you just looking to get the heck out of Dodge?
No, what happened was I moved out in 2013 to Arizona from New York. And in 2015, the market went crazy. So I said, I'm just going to list my house. I put some crazy figure on there. My real estate agent thought I was nuts. And this young couple came and they loved the house, and Debbie showed it. And like 2 days later, I got a full asking price. So I took it.
Yeah, so everybody was happy. And so that's how we met. It was a business relationship that grew into a friendship, that grew into romance, grew back into business, and still romance and love. And we are engaged now to be married next year.
Yeah, congratulations.
A lot of people, they think we're already married because we're older. So they'll be like, yeah, your husband was here. Oh, your wife was here. We're like, no, he's still courting me.
Yeah, even though we live together. So, that's how.
Yeah. We moved in about 2-3 years ago now. Yeah, both my daughters got married, and so they left the house, and then John came in.
Well, the other thing, too, is that you're a recent grandmother also, correct?
Yeah, actually, one daughter who moved away for love to Michigan, she has twin girls. So they're going to be baptized this weekend. So they're 4 months old. That's Claudia and Catalina. And then the other daughter who lives here, she has a little girl, 15 months. And that's Talia. And then she's also expecting a boy now. So we went from just having the 2 dogs and the 2 girls to now having 4 grandbabies. Yeah.
Wow. So John, instead of retiring, you get everything you wanted for your house and everything, you decided to go into the tequila business. ¿Por qué?
Yeah.
How come?
Crazy. If I knew what it was like now, back then, I don't know if we would have went into it,
Like when people ask me, what were you thinking?
Exactly.
Well, what happened? How did that all come about?
Well, I'll let Debbie tell you that story.
Okay. So John and I are dating, and I get a call from my dad who lives in Mexico, and he wanted me to come down and visit him. And I hadn't really talked much about my dad because I hadn't seen him in about 30 years. So I mentioned it to John, and I said, John, I got a call from my dad, and he wants me to come and visit him. And John said, are you going to go? And I said, I don't know. I kind of had mixed feelings. He says, well, maybe you should go because he's getting up in age. Maybe he's not doing too well. And John had lost his dad when he was young. So he encouraged me, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. Do you want to come with me? So he said, sure. So we went down to see my dad.
Mexico. Who's going to say no?
And it was a very good visit. It was quite emotional. And when we were sitting at his kitchen table, he pulled out a little jug of tequila. And we started sipping it. And we just started to talk more and get to know each other and share stories about life and learn about each other. And so that's what we decided. Gosh, this tequila is so good. He explained how he was making it. It had gone back 3 generations just for family and friends, which is still how a lot of tequilas are made. They never make their way to market. They're still in Mexico for family and friends. And so when we came back to Arizona, we had the craziest idea. We thought, what if we could bring this process to market? And neither one of us were really in the liquor industry other than I was a bit of a margarita gal, and John had worked at a liquor store during college. But we started to do a lot of research, and that's kind of how Señorial came to be.
And I was an accountant for 25 years, so I did all the paperwork and licensing and the trademarking and stuff. So that helped out a lot.
That.
Yeah, there's the depending on what brand you're talking to. I hear it's like 2 or 3 years worth of paperwork on both sides of the border just to get everything.
Yeah, I think we did it within like 6 to 8 months. Nailed it right away. In fact, our customs broker didn't think it was going to go through. They said whenever these little companies try to bring something over, there's always some glitch. But we had the legal approvals, we had everything set, and we brought our first delivery was 400 bottles. We just wanted to see, because if we did a big load coming up here and they said no way, it would have been a lot more money. So it went right through, and May 29th, we had our first delivery of 2009.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. And I love the do you have any bottles handy?
Yes, we got everything for you. Let me grab one of our regular bottles.
Yeah, well, I don't have any because I know you all have been really nice, but we've had them all. I haven't. Yeah, well, the thing was that the time that I think you all sent me a set. I was in Los Angeles. I was in Southern California at the time. My father had passed away, and I was spending a year there with my mother, who hadn't handled it really well. And that's where I took. It's one of my favorite pictures where I think you sent me one of your first cigars, and it was just, it's always a beautiful time in the backyard of any house in Southern California. So I took a few pictures in my mom's patio, and those are the ones that I loved using when I wrote an article on what I call the Añejo way of life.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yes. Really enjoying the Señorial. So now, and I figured, Jonathan, you must have been a big cigar guy for a long time.
Yeah, my dad smoked cigars, and back, like Debbie said, he passed away at 51. I was 17. And I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to try a cigar. Because I was always, just mesmerized by, he's always had a cigar. So I said, I'm going to try one. Even though when we were younger, we'd be in the back seat. And back then they didn't know, or the windows would be up and we'd be turning green in the back,
Yeah, it was another time. It really was.
So I lit up a cigar. I was 17 years old, and I was like, oh my God, I know why he loves these. So I was a cigar smoker for the last 38 years, unfortunately, but I love them. And the first cigars that we sent you were the dipped ones. Those were Honduras, but you know, we want to do something better, really a nicer cigar. So in 2014, actually, Debbie and I flew down to Nicaragua, and we sat with AJ Fernandez. And right now, the best tobacco is in Esteli, which is really amazing place.
I'll let you in on a little secret. My parents are from Nicaragua.
Oh.
And so my last trip there, I just picked up cigar smoking like in my 40s or something, because I'm really a late bloomer. And my father would tell me the story, you know, my father and his brother, about Esteli and how, you know, it's considered the breadbasket of Central America. And so on my last trip there, which was, I don't remember, 2013, we drove to Esteli. At the time, Nicaraguan cigars were just breaking onto the market. And of course, that's almost exclusively what I smoke. I started with Drew Estate, which Drew Estate, you know, they started rolling cigars in Nicaragua. And I got to tell you, on the road there, the drive there, you see rice paddies, and you see
everything.
you see carrots. I've never seen carrots this size. I swear to you, they're like this big. People are just selling them on the side of the road.
And all I can say is, the birds in the cages on the side of the road?
Yeah. Oh, the quetzals. Yeah. You know, the funny thing was, I used to say, you know, I'd hate to see the rabbit that could eat that carrot, you know, because my dad would tell me stories about, you know, the papayas that were as big as watermelon. And I go, you got to be lying to me. And it's the truth. It's almost like they grow hybrid or something. I don't know. So we went to the Plasencia finca, and I was able to purchase a couple of boxes of Plasencia, which I've never been able to find up until that point, only in Florida. But you went to? Did you go to their facility?
I was invited to AJ Fernandez through a buddy of mine at the cigar lounge that I go to. So he said, "You got to see this guy. He's up and coming." His dad was working for a family plantation, and AJ moved from Cuba. I guess now it's got to be maybe 8 years or something. And he started rolling in an apartment, and now his place is amazing. He sells to Cigar International, and he came out with his San Latano ovals and amazing cigars. And every single cigar you have, the draw is perfect. I haven't had a bad one. So that's when we said, you know what, let's check out his facility. And the way he ferments his tobacco and does the pilons, I mean, every 4 days they break down these tremendous pilons and put the tobacco from the bottom on the top on the bottom. And every 4 days for a year, he does this. It's amazing what he does with
Quite
this
an
tobacco.
Education, yeah. And you know what? He's a nice guy, too.
Yeah, really good guy.
Someone with such status and wealth, he wouldn't be that nice. He is so nice that when he did our blends, and John blended the Añejo cigar and I blended the Diamante, I gave him a big hug and kiss, and he was so receptive. He was just so pleased that we were happy with the blend that he did for us working with him. So,
well, you know, and John might know this, you guys aren't really the first ones to think of having an infused cigar, because as I recall, and I told you earlier that I started smoking Drew Estate, and Drew Estate had a relationship with Tres Generaciones, with Sauza, and they actually began their line of Sauza tequilas, like Tres Generaciones tequilas, infused in their añejo, the Tres Generaciones añejo. And I'm not sure where that went, because there was a problem, I think, in somewhere in the mid 2000s, where a lot of the tobacco, there was a problem. There was some sort of hurricane, and a lot of tobacco was having a problem shipping into Florida. So Drew Estate had to draw back on a lot of that, and that was really the only cigar that had a relationship with a tequila. And then when you thought of it, I think the first one you sent me was dipped in the Blanco,
yes.
Correct? Okay. and then the newer ones are dipped in your añejo.
No,
Is that right?
they're actually not dipped. These
Well, explain to me the process of infusing the tobacco.
Okay. So the original ones were infused. We took these huge humidors and we set up the tequila in the humidors and let them sit for months. So rather than dipping the cigar and ruining the tobacco, we would infuse it through the air. So we did that for a while, but we noticed that a lot of real cigar smokers wanted something better, and I'm like, I think we should go with the mainstream good cigar. So the Diamante and the Añejo is just aged longer, the tobacco. So that's how we got the name of it, to go with the aged tequila.
Okay. Yeah, you're using the word truthfully. Añejado. It's aged.
Right. So what we have for the Añejo is it's a Nicaraguan filler and binder. And then if you notice, the wrapper is very dark. It's a Mexican San Andreas Maduro wrapper. So that's how we brought the Mexico part into it.
I'm gonna pull out, because I actually got a
I'll send you more, Mike. I didn't know you. I should have sent you some more.
Oh no, it's good. You actually see what happened was the original ones you sent in this box were perfect, and of course I smoked them all. And this was before we came up with this platform, but you were nice enough to send me a couple more. So let me just pull those out of my humidor.
Now, Lisa, do you smoke cigars?
No, I don't, but I love shopping for them.
Okay.
I do. I love shopping for them.
I love this is the Diamante, correct?
Yeah, and I'll just share a little story about the Diamante. So I'm not a big cigar aficionado like Jonathan is. I'm a late bloomer. And we would always go to cigar lounges, especially after we would be doing tastings. We're standing on our feet, we're talking to folks, and we just want to sit down and have a cocktail, have a drink. He wants a cigar. And so I felt like, well, I should have one too. I'm here. And I would always ask them, what's a nice ladylike cigar? I don't want something too strong. I don't want something that's, flavored like they have the mango flavor and chocolate flavor. And they would pick these other ones for me. And sometimes the tobacco was not full leaf. So I'd be spitting out little tobacco leaves. And I didn't like it either.
Right.
So I said to John,
I used to call those the Clint Eastwood cigars.
I said, I want to blend a cigar that I think a woman can enjoy as well as a man, more like a unisex cigar that is not so big. As you can see, the Diamante is not as large as the Añejo. Where the Añejo,
I love this side actually. Yeah. I think we call them Panatellas. Isn't that the size?
Panatella or Petit Corona. Yeah, this is a 40 ring gauge on that one. Yep.
So this is I say an hour smoke, where this might be a 30-minute smoke. And for me, this is enough for like when I'm sipping my tequila or having a glass of wine or a cocktail.
That's my morning cigar with an espresso.
This one here? You and I are going to have to hang out next time you come. If you come to Texas, or we get back to
San Antonio, Mike, or what?
Yeah, I'm in San Antonio now, permanently.
Okay, well, we'll be down.
We're going to come down. There's a Total Wine over there.
Yeah, so we'll let you know.
Yeah, there is. Now I've seen you guys have had some great success with Total Wine. As a matter of fact, you were just in my old stomping grounds in New Mexico.
Yes.
Everybody said say
hello. I haven't seen those. Yeah, they built those after I moved, and we had heard that they were coming, but of course, at that point I think I was in Southern California. So, you guys have had some great success with them, and I wanted to ask Jonathan really quickly, why did you decide on box press?
You know what? I thought it was really interesting. A lot of people are doing the box press now. I'll tell you a funny story. I brought my Añejo to New York, and I went to Davidoff. My brother goes there all the time, and I gave it to a couple of guys to see if they would take our product in there. So they smoked it, and they said, "Do you know the Padron cigars?"
Yes.
Well, they're like $20, $25 for the anniversaries, and so the guy tried it, and he said, "You know what? I like it better than the Padrones." He said it's got more flavor through it. A lot of different taste to it. And he said, "I'm going to see if we could get it in." The only thing is we're getting rid of a lot of the brands that aren't ours. Like the Camacho's theirs, and Room 101 is theirs. So to make a long story short, he never got back to me. And then about maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I see Davidoff came out with the box press, the same size as ours. My brother smoked it, and he said, it tastes like yours. So I don't know if they didn't take ours and decide to do their own. I was a little upset, but I'm like, it's kind of flattery. I don't know if they did do it, but my brother said, I'm telling you, it tastes just like your cigar. So that was pretty interesting. But the box press is just, I don't know, it's a little different. I mean, now there's a lot more box press, but I just thought it was a nice
it's a nice
hold on your, in your hand and stuff.
Because when I would smoke the cigars, they were always the round ones. And I just felt like you couldn't grasp it, where with this one being flattened, it's just so much easier to hold.
Especially with the larger ring gauges, it's easier to, instead of getting a hot draw.
Yeah. When I first started, I started smoking what we called Panatellas. I think Punch used to make them in tins.
Yes.
And I used to buy the tins because, you have to really plan ahead of time to smoke one of these. I mean, this is one of those you spend your time with. And so I would start with Panatellas, but I really enjoyed stuff like the unusual sizes, like Lancers, that were long and thin.
Lanceros, yeah.
Yeah, but lately it's been, the bigger the fatter the cigar, the more popular they became. So I really like, if you're going to go this route, I always enjoyed the box press, and it was like an old style. It was like a throwback cigar because they were just starting to bring it back, and apparently it was something that had been done a long time ago and wasn't very popular for some reason. Right. But I like it. I think it's very cool.
It's funny because some people stay away from it because they think they're machine made. They don't realize they're handmade and then pressed in the in the forms. So that's one reason why some people stay away from them. So still needs a little bit of education there.
Oh yeah. Well, so how first of all, let's get into let's talk about another product. Let's talk about this coffee. This one here, this coffee liqueur. Where did this come from, and who thought of it first?
I thought it was Debbie.
We kind of both did. Sometimes
John's a smoker with your espresso with the cigar. So I don't know.
Debbie and I, when we were in Mexico, we like to try different things, and we actually tried a coffee flavored tequila ourselves, and it was really interesting. So when we came back to Arizona, we found somebody that would actually make the flavoring for us. And we hit it right on the nail. I mean, we really enjoyed it. So when we sent it.
Yeah, we had a couple of different ones that we were calling sample A, B, C, and we would do blind taste tests. But I think ultimately there is a drink in Mexico. And if you go to a really nice restaurant, they'll serve it complimentary called cacao. And they serve it sometimes in a martini glass or just a nice small cordial glass like this. And cacao is really a nice after-dinner liqueur in place of a Kahlua or a Bailey's. And we were going for that type of flavor. So we used 100% Arabica coffee beans, our Blanco tequila, which is super clean, award-winning, and just a little sugar. And I used to sometimes on a Sunday put a little bit of the Blanco in my coffee grounds because I would just let that kind of drip through as my coffee would come out and call it a Cafe Blanco. So already had that coffee and tequila. Just a little food for thought when you're going on a hike on a Sunday. So
we actually played around with the sugar content and a couple of, and the alcohol levels. And then we both agreed on this one blend, and we presented Total Wine. And originally they wanted us to make ours taste like Patron's XO.
Oh no!
Yes,
so
we agree.
I fought them.
Very bitter. It's like bottom of the pot coffee at 7-Eleven. That's what it tastes.
Tooth and nail, Mike. And when people come to our tastings, they go, "Oh, is that like the XO?" And I'm like, "No, try it." And we've been having unbelievable success. We're just in New Mexico, and two stores. One we sold out of it. Second one we were doing phenomenal with it. So.
You sold a bottle. You took a picture because
one of your friends, right?
You said you knew them. Yeah.
Rose and Ted. It's like, who knew? I haven't seen them in a long time, but yeah, they bought one of your bottles. And the nice thing you guys do with your social media is all the happy customers that come to see you because
she's all over that.
Your own tastings.
Yeah, they don't want us to take pictures because they like to keep a low profile. And especially,
Yeah,
find a couple of bottles of tequila. They go, no, that's okay, no picture. Or they're in uniform. So we go, no, we respect that. But if you're okay with it, we love to say thank you because we're recruiting fans. You know, like anybody that has a small business, if you can get another fan, your job is done. And if they don't buy a bottle that day, that's fine. We still like them. You know, they can always come back and buy it another day. So it's
well, you know, maybe they don't buy a bottle, but they buy some cigars, you know, or something else.
Yeah, or they think of it come the holiday season, or you know, they talk about it when they're looking for a nice tequila. But what's nice too is they embrace that we're still a small company. We tell them you're looking at corporate. You know, we're not a big commercial brand. This is something that we have a passion for, we believe in, and so we sign the bottles for them. We tell them we're not anyone famous, but we're happy to do it. And
I tell them with our signature and $5, they can get a Starbucks coffee.
But you know, people are receptive. You know, people really like the little guy sometimes a little bit more than the big guy.
Well, you know, that was you just mentioned two different examples of what it's like in your experience to be a small startup brand. I mean, we call you startup, but you've been at it for what? How long has it been now? 5 years?
7 years, May.
7 years. So
they've passed the threshold.
Yeah, you've passed that 5-year threshold. So it's nice to see you're getting the recognition for, you know, that, and of course there are more outlets to do that in now, but, you know, you were just discussing about how a corporation wanted your new liqueur to taste like something similar that's already out there, and you guys are going, no, man, it's got to reflect us, not somebody else. Right. It's a constant battle. This is something that a lot of people who are maybe contemplating getting into the business are not aware that, you know, it's all, it looks glamoury and glitzy and all that, you know, it's all cigars and snifters, but it really isn't. You're really shaking hands and kissing babies and selling stuff out of the tree.
You know, I keep saying one day it's going to make a nice Lifetime movie, or the book will come out when we retire and, you know, we're sitting by the beach maybe. But until then, we work it like anybody works their business. We eat, sleep, and literally drink it. Every bit of it.
I love that you guys do everything together. You know, that really shows a lot of unity to people. I think it sends a big message. Obviously, you know, you've got a great story. It's a great love story. The intention hasn't wavered in 7 years, and now with Jonathan's with the new projects, the liqueur and the cigars, that intention really still continues.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on.
We're working on a few more things that we might reveal to you tonight if you'd like to know.
Tell me, okay, well, now that we're at it, Lisa's enjoying the coffee liqueur. What do you say? This is kind of a mini off the cup.
Cheers. Now, are you having it chilled or are you having it room temperature?
Room temperature.
How do you like it?
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. You're going to love this.
We haven't opened it. We opened it live.
This is the first taste. Okay. Yeah.
It's really good.
And this is my first of the extra as well. By the way, beautiful bottle on that extra añejo. I mean, we didn't get to see it, but I've seen it on, you know, I've seen it on your social
That's the second generation too, Mike, the one you got there.
I got to tell you, I don't know if you have any of these, Jonathan, but you might consider getting some Glencairns. Okay. Next time you do Total Wine, you can either, you know, they're always there. Sometimes if you're lucky, you get them on the sale bin, you know. But really, I think for the quality of your añejo and your extra añejo, especially if you're a cigar guy, and I've always said your añejo is a great cigar tequila. I've always said that. Wow, smell that.
No, I did. I smelled it. I tasted it.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you know, you guys have so many. We only have an hour, and you guys have so many things in the hopper right now that I want to make sure we get to everything. Wow.
This is a really nice extra añejo. I really enjoyed it.
What a beautiful nose. It's not overpowering. It's not overly sweet. You know what I mean? It really balanced. At least the nose is right now.
And it hasn't lost the punch of a Blanco, because I prefer Blancos.
Yeah, sometimes after 5 years, you just got that whiskey taste, you know, and
Yeah, it's going to taste like something else.
It's
smell like
still
something else.
it's still tequila.
I just had a friend of mine buy one for his brother, and then 2 days ago he called me up and he bought one for a friend of his, the extra name.
Oh, wow.
And not everybody goes out and thinks about buying a $300 bottle because that's the price point that it's at. But for those that want to splurge a little bit and they want to reward themselves, and as I say, it's not a bottle you're going to finish by the 10 o'clock news, by no means. This is a bottle you're going to share with, certain friends and special family. And the packaging that we design is really a collectible too, so that it does.
Do you have it handy? Can you show
it? It does look attractive on someone's back bar. So John's going to show you the first generation. Oh, he went for the other, but now I said that one. And we wanted something that was like a wow, because it's $299. So somebody's going to put out that much. It's got to be the taste, but also the presentation.
I'm going to just move the camera a little bit.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So this opens like this.
Oh, very nice.
And this was the first generation. So this is the one.
So
it's kind of similar to a cognac style bottle.
Right.
And that's just the top for transporting it. Inside
let me
the
get
box,
this stopper.
we have a glass crystal stopper that once you bring it home, you remove this cap and you put the stopper that John's going to bring. But what was kind of fun, in the back here, we have a pocket that's almost like a passport that we share our story, and we hand signed each one, and we put some pictures from our distillery.
Here's the stopper.
Nice information.
Oh, very nice.
And it's got our logo on the top, so it's kind of hard to see.
So only one barrel, and one barrel gave us 225 bottles. So each store may only have, a couple, 2 or 3. And so this was the first generation. Each one is numbered. And then that sold really well. So we decided, let's do a second generation.
And just to interject for a second, if you look at all the other companies, they use the same bottle every year. And it's mass.
Right.
But being that ours is really just, a couple of barrels, 1 barrel, then 2 barrels this past year, we decided, it's a generation. Second generation, let's do a completely different bottle and packaging. And it's cool because this way people can save them, and they know that's the first generation.
Treasure bottle.
So.
Yeah, and see, this is numbered here with the brass plate, and it says 1 of 225. So we had the first bottle, and then other people would get, 2 of, 3 of, whatever, 200 of, until the whole 225 were gone.
That was the first.
But then store, each one still has one of these, which is nice.
Then last year, we decided to up ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
By the way, I just tasted the coffee liqueur. I like I said, we hadn't opened it. I love this. This gave me a wow. This was a wow factor. So literally, because there's one of my favorite drinks when I first started in tequila, drinking tequila. Well, a friend of mine taught me how to drink what we call Brave Bulls, which is Kahlua tequila and a lime wedge. That's it. So, the only coffee liqueur that was out there that was popular at the time was Kahlua, and Tia Maria was another one, which was kind of softer. But so when Mikey had a bad day because he'd be drinking Brave Bulls and I'd hold on to a little straw, so I knew how many drinks I'd had, right? But this is beautiful.
Really nice.
This really brings it up a level because I think you can serve it on the rocks or chilled
or ice cream.
Yeah.
Actually, sometimes I'll throw a shot in my espresso instead of putting any sugar in there. It gives it a nice little amp.
Or iced coffee. I add it to my iced coffee because you know how hot it is in Arizona. Summer days. Or you could pour it over pancakes, maybe a little bit.
I like her style.
I like it. Just for the sake of anybody who's gonna go look for these, and of course they can find them at Total Wine, obviously. Probably all over. You guys are everywhere now, all over the U.S. now.
With Total Wine, yes.
With Total Wine. So anywhere where there's a Total Wine, if you're looking to get something really special, whether it's a bottle for a friend or some coffee for yourself, coffee liqueur, that's what you're looking for.
And the price point on that is only $19.99. So it's really pocket friendly. Yes.
Wow.
It's a steal.
And you can open it, put it in your fridge, and it'll keep for 6 months. Not that you'll have it that long, but it's nice to have when you feel like you want something sweet.
That's what I was going to ask you. What the length of time is, before we need to find a new one.
They say 6 months, but 6 to 9 months, it's been fine. We've been checking it out, because there's no cream.
You keep it in the fridge, correct? It's probably
And you can experiment different things. We had some pecan pie, and John was making whipped cream. John loves to spend time in the kitchen, not just eating, but cooking and baking. So he put a little bit in the whipped cream that he was whipping up, and it was really something different. It gave a nice touch to it.
Well, Lisa's our test kitchen. Lisa's Tequila Aficionado test kitchen. So I think you've just opened up her palate to all kinds of stuff.
That would be really good in a chocolate cake.
Yeah.
There she
Yeah.
goes.
I like that idea.
So
The first one that gave us that wow factor for a while, because especially with Lisa being such a cook, is the Avión Espresso, which is very well done in our estimation. And this coffee liqueur, wow, I'm really impressed, because this is.
So we have a fan. We have 2 more fans.
Well, yeah, she's.
Yeah, I wanna pour this over chocolate. I want to poke holes in a chocolate cake, pour this over it, and then put like a dollop of vanilla whipped cream on it.
Oh my God! You just anything that's.
I could go do that now.
She handles all the liqueurs, and we're getting more
really
and more responses to our Sipping Off the Cuff and our Brands of Promise awards, and so. I think we probably could nominate this as a Brand of Promise already as a coffee liqueur, as a tequila liqueur, obviously, because
it's the gold medal too.
Yeah, we just won the gold medal this year at the San Francisco with that.
At San Francisco, oh, right on! Congratulations! Woohoo! Well, did you have you entered the Extra Añejo? Do they even have a?
We got a silver. I think we should have got a gold, but we got a silver, so we're okay.
Silver is nice. There's always.
The more hardware you guys can rack up, the better off you are. I'll tell you what, though, we haven't. Alex and I have not had a chance to do a Sipping Off the Cuff for Senor Rio. So, whenever you guys are ready, we would love to have Senor do a whole. Sipping Off the Cuff, do the whole line. I know that I've been very fortunate to have tried it. Just for the sake of our viewers and people who watch us, the distillery is La Cofradia. You're still there, correct?
Yeah.
And they're wonderful people. You can still.
That explains it.
That explains it.
Yeah.
That explains the quality and your relationship. Now look at it. That's the second generation.
Oh, now this stopper is a sphere with the logo inside there, so that will go on top.
And then each one has a coin showing the number.
Yeah, we designed this coin with our logo. If you can see that.
That is beautiful.
Yeah,
well
we
done.
we got really lucky because I got one of those Senor Rio caps. Yeah, and it went on our tequila trip with us, our tequila mezcal tour. I had to turn it around most of the way. What is that? What am I looking
at? It looks like a ring box.
When we designed it, we called
so
it.
It's a separate.
Will you marry me? Because it's like a nice box that you would propose in. So
the two boxes come together. Yeah, they're separate.
So this is the second box, which. And Lisa, you might know when you have a lot of jewelry, you have one of these like jewelry boxes that opens up. So we wanted to have it like a jewel.
Anything jewelry. He knows everything about jewelry. I have no jewelry.
Oh,
she needs diamonds and pearls and she.
Okay, you're back. So anyway,
I love it.
And then it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, I mean, I love the care that you've taken in the design, because nothing is wasted. Everything is a keepsake. I mean, people, like you said, if people are going to spend this kind of money, you want them to remember.
Well, yeah.
One of a kind, yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend. He won't open his bottle. He just keeps it on his shelf.
Hey, it might be worth something one day on eBay. I don't know.
We saw t-shirts on eBay one day.
I smoke and drink everything, man. I
But that's
love that.
That's something that you would that you would share, you know, for a special occasion.
Yes.
You know, your son or daughter graduates college, or your first grandchild is born, and you all, you know, you all drink from that bottle, and you know that makes it a beautiful keepsake. And then you can say, you know, you can look at that box, you can look at that bottle and say, remember when we had that when so and so was born, and then, you know, the kid's 20 years old, and you say, you know what, we had some of this when you were born. There's a little bit left.
Yeah. We had a couple. It was their 50th wedding anniversary, and they wanted to buy it for them, so it was sweet. So I just thought, wow, still sipping tequila after 50 years of marriage. I like that.
Tell us about the logo. I think there's a story. Everything about Señor Rio has a story.
When we were deciding to bring my dad's process to market, we thought, what are we going to call this tequila? We were first thinking some cool names, and then we looked at each other and we thought, you know, if we didn't go down there and he didn't share that with us, we wouldn't be in the tequila business. I don't think so. I'd still be selling real estate, and John would still be doing accounting. So we thought, let's pay tribute to my dad. His nickname is Señor Rio. So we thought, let's give our tequila an identity and tell people that.
Because her maiden name is Rivera.
So it stems from the name Rivera, which is Mr. River in Spanish, Señor Rio. Right. So we decided, yeah, you know what? Hopefully this name is available, because you have to do your searching, and it was. Right. And then for our logo, we were toying around with agaves and different things. But then I went through some old photographs, and that was from a picture. So we decided to take an old black and white, the profile, and say, you know what, this is my dad in his younger years, and give the identity to our brand so that people knew kind of where it came from. So that's how we got the name. And
I have a friend from the 5th grade that actually helped us design the label with the logo and everything by us showing him the picture. So
wow,
it's pretty cool. I've known the guy for 40 some odd years, you know, and
man,
that's New York. And I called him up and I said, I got a project, and he does work for IBM, you know, IBM and the banks and stuff. And I said, I got something a little different I want you to work on.
He was really happy to do it. He's just like, wow. You know, he's one of those guys that he roots for the underdog, the one that's going against the big companies. So.
And his buddy for 40 years. Yeah. I mean, I pick up the phone. I might not speak to him for a year, and I pick it up like I never, you know,
like you haven't beat, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the special ones.
Yes.
Those are the special friends when you can do that.
So what do you want our viewers to know about Señor Rio? If you had, you know, what kind of message do you want to send out to people who are maybe contemplating getting into the tequila business, or contemplating, you know, smoking your cigars or trying Señor Rio? What do you tell them? Because you guys are pressing the flesh all the time. You guys have met your public. You do it consistently. You can catch Señor Rio on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. They're on, you know, all the major platforms, and now of course you guys are on with us in Blab. But what do you tell them? What do you say to them?
You know, Mike, it is a tough business like anything else, but there are a lot of different laws and stuff. And if you're going to do it, you just got to put your whole heart into it, you know, and 100%, because you can't do this part-time. There's no way.
Yeah, nobody's going to build your brand. I mean, we were with distributors before, and we were so excited when we got the big distributors. But unfortunately, in this competitive market, they are more for the bigger brands. So you kind of get lost. And, you know, John and I put our heart, our soul, and all our cash and decided, you know, we're going to just kind of roll the dice and take a chance. So first thing we tell everyone is, do you like tequila? And we usually get a yay or an A, and I'll ask, are you a sipper? Are you a shooter? Are you a mixer? Or are you all of above? And, you know, a lot of times people are all of above. And I say, you know, it's important what you drink, because as we get older, it's the quality. And not all tequilas are created equal, as we well know. I mean, you've had enough of them. And
you should see my shelving.
Yeah, how many bottles do you have there?
A few.
A few. Yeah. We're in fact we've already lined up several for our 2016 season of sipping off the cuff, and I can't drink all this tequila. I really can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few. There's a few.
I help.
Yeah, but she's such a lightweight. You know, I last night was the first time she's had almost a full
work
snifter.
hard all day long. Once I've had a couple of sips, I'm out.
Yeah, I take about 2 or 3 snifters a night. You know,
he doesn't work
different
at
ones.
all.
Yeah, because I just sit here and look pretty.
That's it. He sits around.
I wasn't born that way like John. You know, I gotta work.
Yeah, you know, we just want to, you know, the people to know that, you know, we're real people. We're just, you know, sharing our product that we, you know, take a lot of pride in. And, you know, we wait a lot longer than a lot of national brands before the plants are harvested. We make sure that La Cofradia knows that, and they get the estate grown one. So really, we take a lot of pride in the quality and the way we produce it. And the master distiller, he said that, you know, out of all the tequilas that they make down there, it's Casa Noble and ours is his favorite. And I think now ours is getting up there because, you know, Casa Noble is sold to Constellation. So
right,
we're the I think we're the new favorite.
They were, you know, and that's okay because Cofradia, if you've had enough of if you're a geek and you look for the NOM number, you'll know that La Cofradia makes several tequilas that, and it's funny because many of the brand owners are award winners. There's a lot of winners that come out of that stable. It's almost like a good thoroughbred breeding, you know, farm.
Yeah.
They don't put out losers, man. And so, you know, when you see that number, you recognize, what is it, 1107? I think is the 1137. I'm sorry.
I could show you my tattoo.
I was going to say, if you want something that you don't know about John, he has it tattooed on him. And,
dude, I gotta smoke cigars with you. I gotta go get a tattoo with you and go work out with you, but not all on the same day. Okay,
because cool though, the same day. Come on, we're not that old.
No,
like,
yeah, no, that's gonna take a few weeks, man. Yeah, the you know, that particular distillery has some great tequilas that are. And many of the startups really gravitate to La Cofradia.
But you know what sets them apart, though? It's, you know, I mean, it's wonderful that you have La Cofradia. It's wonderful that you know, that your tequila is made there. But every single step of the way, you two have paid attention to the tiniest of details, every little detail. In the packaging, in your social media, in the way you present your product and your company and yourselves.
No,
you know, you guys are, you know, you're real. You're not putting on airs. You're very real about this, and every single step is like, you know, you're putting your heart into every single thing. Just, you know, the logo, that's, you know, it's a picture of her dad by a lifetime friend of yours. I mean, and the, you know, everything, even the cigars, putting them together, you know, you guys both had a hand in the cigars. You literally had a hand in the cigars.
Yeah, I could show you pictures of us actually rolling them.
That's an art. The sitting there watching those guys cigar rolling, because when I was at the Plasencia, it's a room full of people. They're all rolling, and they either have one person singing. They actually have a vocalist in one room. Traditionally, I think for Cuban factories, they would actually have somebody read the paper to these to the hand rollers. And I think depending on the farm or the who they were working for, you were allowed one cigar a day to smoke.
Oh, they smoke them all day at AJ's. And what's really cool about AJ Fernandez is he keeps air conditioning on for his people, and he has music playing for them. So he's 100 rollers doing 300 cigars a day. So.
Yeah, it's really is a long tradition. In fact, it would require me going back and doing a full article on the way these factories run. You know, because anyone who's using hand rolled cigars, you've got to have a room full of people, and they're there, you know, 5 to 8 hours a day and longer.
But they have to be, you know, again, they have to be passionate about what they're doing. They have to really, really love what they're doing to do it right. You know, and we see that with distilleries. If they don't love what they're doing, we taste it. That's in the glass. But you know, you guys clearly love what you're doing.
That's why I asked you about the box press, because I knew that there was a reason why. You know, you guys don't do. You're very deliberate with your brand and with your tequila. So I figured that this meant something. Yeah. And whatever it was, convenience, it's easy to hold, you know, that kind of thing. The size also means something. Besides, it's not just a cigar that's infused with a tequila and you put it out on the market.
No.
Yeah, I that's what I love about you guys is that there's meaning to everything. And I
try to, because it's important. You know, we look at it as people work hard for their money today, and they want quality. When we contacted AJ Fernandez, they said to us, "Do you want us just to blend some things and send you some samples?" We said, "No, we want to come down there. We want to do it ourselves. We want to learn. We want to take pictures.
He showed us all the tobacco from all over the world that he brings in.
We know what we're doing and what we're bringing out, and so that's important because." You know, when you go shopping, you're not going to put your dollars to something that is not a good product. So it's really.
What's really interesting, Mike, is we met. He's actually a friend of ours now. We hang out. He lives in Arizona. He used to live in California, but his brother owns a big winery up in California. And we were talking one day, and he said, "Do you guys want a couple of barrels?" So right now we have 2 Burgundy barrels.
Oh yeah!
In Mexico. We took our añejo and we just aged it 1 year, and now it's been sitting in the Burgundy barrels for 7 months, and that's coming out. We should bottle it. We're actually going back down to Mexico at the end of the month to bottle it, and the distillery did our bottle in ceramic, and then Debbie and I have a friend who did the artistry, and his hand did a artistic rendering of the image, and it ties together the grapes and the agaves, and there's an artist that's painting all 600 bottles by hand.
Wow.
That's a little secret that's coming out soon.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous bottle, and you got to see the tint. It's got a little tint of the red from the Burgundy. You know, it's very
right.
It's a gorgeous look, and the taste is really different.
Well, you know, there are brands that have been very successful in doing that. I know that Dulce Vida does that with their extra añejo. I think Asombroso has one that called a Rosa that's a different color. But you know, it's a science. It's hard to get right. You know,
it is. And we went every 3 months. We were going down to try it. So 7 months, we just feel is the right release.
Really exquisite. The taste and the presentation, and only 600 bottles, but each one hand painted and signed by the artist. And
well, you know, we'll never get one.
We were designing a little neck hanger to showcase how this came to be. So it'll be on the market. We're hoping to get it out by the holidays. We're going to be presenting it, and then it'll get into the stores. And
so if we have some here, we'll see what we could do for you, Mike.
You know, we appreciate it. What are you going to call it?
It's Señor Rio Añejo.
Añejo double barrel. We sound like twins.
Yeah.
Double barrel Añejo, yeah.
Make sure you let us know when you release it. We'd love to share that with our audience.
Yeah, please do.
You ready, Mike?
You may
What's this?
More?
Yeah, we're bringing out the Elsa. That's our label.
Oh, no way!
So the guy who gave us the barrels, the brother, the friend of ours, he had this Mexican recipe for unbelievable salsa, and he asked us if we would go in with him. So we were a little hesitant about it and go, we got to try it first to make sure, you know, it's good. And it was amazing. So this should be out on the market in a couple of, maybe 2 months.
And so what we thought too, when we were designing the label.
And we saw your picture, and it's like our label.
You know,
we were like, wow, same.
A little bit like Andy Warhol. But also the colors that we chose are
it's the
with the nice red and the green and the yellow. And again, we wanted to keep with our name and call it the Señor Real Salsa. But there'll be 3 types. There's the jalapeno kick, and then there's the tangy tomatillo, and then there's the devil's
demon's breath.
Or I'm sorry, the demon's breath.
And they're all green salsas, so it's not all tomato, because there's so many out there which has that tomato taste, and probably 90% is tomato. So this has a really
we'll send
taste.
you some, because this stuff is really dynamite. If you're a salsa person.
Oh
yeah,
I lived in New Mexico for 18 years.
It's in your.
You know that salsa is like my thing. Yeah, besides tequila and the green salsas. Right. Well, when you go to New Mexico, they ask you green or red, and it's you want your green salsa red, and if you want them both,
Christmas.
You say
Christmas.
Yeah.
So I would love that. Would be.
Now, when is that hitting the market?
We're hoping May.
This year.
Yeah.
This year.
We're just getting our approvals from the FDA and stuff.
Oh my God! Chips and salsa and Cinco de Mayo.
Time for barbecue season.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're doing our own chips too. We found a chip factory. So
yeah, and here's a question for you. I always ask everyone: do you like white corn or yellow corn? Which do you prefer for your chips?
It's funny.
I like white.
See, I like corn. I've had corn, yellow corn. I think the yellow with the salsa, depending on the salsa, tastes better. Okay. But white is somewhat lighter and maybe sweeter. It just depends on who's making the chips and what they look like.
Okay. So you're yellow corn, you're white corn. Triangle or round chip? Do you like the triangle?
Round. I like round.
Okay.
Yeah, a triangle. Sometimes you stick it up, you hit the side of your mouth, the roof of your mouth, that kind of thing. You got to open a little wider. I already got a big mouth as it is.
We're going to make some chips to go with our salsa, so we're still surveying. So thank you for being part of our survey.
Wow. Well, thank you. Hey,
I'll be a part of it.
I'll be the test market. I'm your huckleberry.
We'll get as soon as everything comes out. We'll try to send you a nice package.
What? That's amazing. That is so cool that one relationship and one thing has led to all these different outlets. To get to diversify the brand. I think.
But this is like a whole expression of your life, because I'm guessing. You eat chips and salsa.
Oh, yeah. It's in our food group. Yes, most definitely.
I'll show you the pantry.
Yeah, you drink coffee, you smoke cigars, you enjoy your tequila, and this is great that it's you're putting your whole life into these products.
What I'm surprised at is you're going another avenue as opposed to what the norm is, because some companies come out with their own margarita mix or their own Paloma mix that they brand, and you didn't do that, or their own coffee, for instance.
Yeah.
You haven't gone there. You went a whole other
direction. Why would you drink a margarita when you have this? Right.
Well, yeah, but
there are some cocktails that we.
She likes your cocktails.
And Lisa, when we come to San Antonio, we'll definitely get together and we'll make you our margatini. Okay.
I've seen the video.
Yes.
That is the better than a day at the spa cocktail. You work hard.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you want to just put your feet up. If you can get Mike to give you a foot rub and have one of these margaritas. You're all set for the night.
You're on.
Hey, and John, our patio is wide open. She won't let me spark it up in here in the house, because I have my cutter and my but we'll go out in the patio and
that's John's domain too. He's out back. Yeah,
I put the TV back there, Mike. So
he's got a TV and his reclining and he's all set.
He's been relegated to the backyard.
Hey,
I got a grill back there too, man.
I can put a TV out there for you.
Okay.
Mike, I got a nice 50-inch back there. It's nice and relaxing with recliner.
When you guys come to Arizona, definitely look us up.
Yeah, we have an extra bedroom. You're more than welcome to stay with us.
Hey, we may never leave.
I know.
Well, John, Debbie, thank you so much for coming on to on our show on Open Bar. Is there something else that you want to tell us? Any other surprises that you want to? You're keeping from me?
Come to the next show.
Yeah,
can't reveal everything.
Sipping off the cup.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for thinking of us. We appreciate it.
Yes.
No, thank you guys for your support of us and TA and Tequila Aficionado. Find Señor Rio at anywhere where there's a Total Wine. You can find their bottle. Show the bottle. Just grab one of the bottles and show it. That's what you're looking for right there. That's Señor Rio, and you can't miss it. It's one of the more elegant bottles, that on the market right now. And this is the coffee liqueur. This is the dark horse right there. Got to get some of this. You're going to probably be seeing a lot of it coming out of our test kitchen. The extra añejo. Well, this is it for me here. I think it might.
It didn't last.
No, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have
to come to Arizona this week. Try the first generation too. I have some of that for you.
Yeah, well, see, I remember seeing the first generation, but I for some reason the second generation made more of an impact on me, and it was just in the pictures. But thanks again for coming on.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful. It's really great to see how you're rolling your life into all of this.
Yeah, Arizona's very lucky to have you guys in their state. An Arizona-based brand that is just out there pressing the flesh. Anywhere you guys can get a hold of Señor Rio, go meet them because they usually do all of their own tastings.
Yeah, we're out there all the time. We can show you our feet.
No. I try, I've done 4 hours, 5 hours on my feet, in boots because I wear boots. And I even have to get the shorter heels because I'm not very tall, but, I get the shorter heels that are better for my back because when you're talking and pressing the flesh, you got to be comfy.
We understand.
Yeah.
This grandma doesn't wear stilettos too much anymore.
Yeah. Oh, no. Jeez. Well, she doesn't wear any at all because that would make you.
I go barefoot.
Debbie calls them her sitting shoes. So she's not sitting. She's not wearing them.
Yeah. Sitting, sipping, smoking a cigar. That's what's
Thank you, guys. Thank you, John. Thank you for being on with us. God bless you guys. Keep up the great fight. If there's anything else that that we can do for you as far as letting the world know about Señor Rio Tequila, let us know because that's what we're here for. It's your platform. You tell us, and we'll make it happen. So
keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
Take care, y'all.
That was wonderful.
Yeah,
they put everything. They put their entire life into their product.
Wow. That coffee liqueur, this one here.
That is amazing. I mean,
no more Brave Bulls for Mikey.
I was a big fan of Avión Espresso. You know that. All my friends know that. Yep. But I'm telling you now.
Well, it's a whole different flavor profile. It's all very different.
All my coffee friends need to get out to Total Wine and get some of this. It's great.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's delicious.
Right, let's sign off.
Thanks for joining us at Open Bar. Join us next week when our guest will be. Who's our guest next week? Did we tell him?
It's going to be a knockout.
That's all we're going to say. Talk to you guys next week. Bye.